Thinking about solo travel but have concerns? Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you all the do's and don'ts of solo travel. Hey guys, welcome back. This is solo travel part 2, do's and don'ts. Okay, so if you haven't seen part 1, pause this video, go back and watch part 1, and then come back and resume this one, okay? No, seriously, pause the video and go watch it, and then come back. I'll be here, I promise. All right, guys, today we're going to talk about the 7 do's and don'ts when solo traveling. Okay, we covered some things in part 1. I want to get a little bit more specific in part 2 and tell you the do's and don'ts. So the first thing we're going to talk about is planning out your itinerary. Okay, you want to make sure you plan out your itinerary before you go. You don't want to get to a city or get to a specific destination and not know what you're doing, right? So plan it out. If you want to do a tour, if you want to visit a certain restaurant, if you want to do some type of activities, whatever it is, plan it out ahead of time, okay? Day 1, day 2, day 3, so on and so forth, right? Plan out your itinerary ahead of time. Number 2 goes hand in hand with number 1, okay? When you plan out your itinerary, give it to someone that you trust. Your itinerary and check in once a day so they know that you're okay. If you're doing tours, tell them where your accommodations are, tell them what your flight times are. Give this information. Make sure someone has your itinerary so they know where you are or where you should be every single day. Okay, and check in with them once a day. And if you don't want to call or text someone, check in on social media. Post different photos from your trip. Check in once a day and try to post, the same time every day. So if you go a couple of days and someone doesn't see a post, they might say, maybe something's wrong. But try to give your itinerary to someone that if they don't hear from you and you don't check in, they're going to send up the smoke signal, okay? Guys, number 3, try some good food. Remember, one of the best parts of going on vacation is trying new and delicious foods. So read the reviews before you go. Look at specific restaurants that's near your accommodations. Maybe there's something really hot that you want to try. Maybe there's a dish that a lot of people are raving about and you want to try it. Try it. Guys, when traveling solo, it's really important to arrive to your destination during the day. You don't want to arrive at midnight or 1 in the morning and maybe there's some transportation issues or something else happens and there's very little resources that time of night. So make sure you arrive during the day. You don't want to get to a different country that you're unfamiliar with in the middle of the night, right? You don't want to get there at midnight and you have to walk around and find your accommodations, or you can't find a taxi, or you want to make sure you arrive during the day. Okay, this is the first step to you going to an unfamiliar place and being safe, right? This is the number 1 tip on safety. Arrive during the day, right? You don't want to get there at night and lost and wandering around and you have very little resource because it's midnight, right? Get there in the day. So make sure when you book your flights or whatever mode of transportation you're using to get to your destination, that it arrives there in the day, okay? And not at night. Guys, this may sound really silly, but learn to take your own pictures. You don't know how many times I've traveled around the world and I've seen people ask strangers to take pictures of them. All people are not good. They will, of course, gladly take your photo, but they will gladly take your cell phone and your camera. So don't have someone run off with your property because you couldn't take your own pictures, okay? If pictures are a big part of who you are and what you do when you travel and you want to post on social media and show your friends and family where you are and what you're doing, that's great. Learn how to take selfies on your own, okay? Get a selfie stick. Take your own selfies. Don't rely on someone else to take your pictures for you. Download some helpful apps before you leave home. Download a GPS app. It'll really come in handy when you need it. Download a translator app. If there's a language barrier there and you're going to a foreign country and you don't speak the language, a translator app will come in handy. You can converse with people, you can talk into the app, It'll write it out. You can show that person, they can read it, and then we're off to the races, okay? The other thing is a currency converter. You need to know how much you're paying for something, right? You need to know how much the check is. You need to know if you see something you want to buy, you need to know the cost of it. So download a currency converter to take with you. Guys, I promised you a bonus tip, and here it is. Make sure you pay close attention to this one, okay? When you're traveling to foreign countries, a lot of times their culture and their laws and legislature is different than ours, okay? So make sure you read up on the places that you go. Know that in some Muslim countries, they don't serve alcohol. You can't go on the beach in a bikini. There are just things you can and cannot do. So to steer clear of any problems while you're there, make sure you read up on the places and check crime, right? Check crime stats and data on these places that you're traveling to. Make sure you do your research before you go, okay? I'd hate to see you guys go somewhere and the culture is different and you're not used to it and you get in trouble or even hurt. There are hate crimes that go on in the world for multiple reasons, due to race or sex or whatever it is, sexual preference. So guys, make sure you do your research before you go, okay? Because there are many countries out there where you can go to a place, you're unfamiliar, there's sexism, there's racism. Just do your homework before you go and check stats, right? Make sure you check stats on crime, on hate crimes, and just the local culture, okay? The do's and the don'ts of a local culture, right? And you'll be fine. So again, this is Demi. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you gained anything from this video, give it a thumbs up, like it, and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all my new videos. In the meantime, happy traveling.